What's up, slackers? Sorry, guys, it took me a little bit longer to get there. Can you guys hear me? Make sure you can hear me. Got a new rain drink today. Peach Fizz. I haven't tried this one yet. Stuff is good now. Come on, this delay takes forever. What are you slackers up to? I don't know, I'm bored out of my mind. I've been in a house. I haven't even been outside yet. Ridiculous. Oh, man. Nothing to see here. Oh, let me know how the sound is. See what you guys are up to. What's up, nerds? My fellow geeks. Gonna go grab a do. Kiva. What's up, slacker? My favorite terrorist. What's going on? You guys hear good? How's the music in the background? Oh, what have you guys been doing to pass the time? I think I'm out, like, totally done with Netflix and stuff like that. It's been killing me. What's up, Manny? Yo, Dimofo? Dimofo? Jester! Need some coolants. Coolants. Can't talk today. Sorry, I gotta get warmed up. Is this even working? Let me see here. Get things turned on for you. Alright. Play around. So what's going on, slackers? Everybody and their mother is losing their mind. I know I am. I've been exhausted lately. And I've also been dealing with this. Excuse me. If you notice here, we have a brand new 480 radiator from Thermaltake. There's actually one right underneath it. So these have been my issue, actually. Or a combination of this and that right there. So we're benching actually on a 3950X. This is just a random retail chip, nothing binned or anything like that. So far it hasn't been that great. One of my big issues was temperature. So one of the bad parts, see if you guys can see, yeah, it's probably not good to do that, but so I'm using an EK block now, but it's an old block. It came out before the 3950X came out, so it's not so bad, but it's still not the best. But I was having a bunch of issues where trying to cool that thing. So if you guys don't know, the 3950X from AMD it's a beast of a chip. It runs really hot. You need some good cooling. I wouldn't say going with like an AIO or anything like that. When you're gonna get this type of chip, I would say you want to upgrade to some decent cooling. Cause why not, right? Unless you're not gonna overclock, stuff like that. But it's kind of crazy. Hey buddy, trying 4933 C1413. Not on water. So far the most I could do on here, let's see, let's take a look and see some of my settings right now. This is kind of, well, I forgot I had to hit the BIOS reset, which clears all the profiles, because sometimes I have an issue with the retry on here. The BIOS is kind of buggy so far on the Asus. This is the Asus X5 or CROSSHAIR 8 Impact, something like that. Bastard messed up. What is he talking about? Should upgrade that EK block because the bastard is messed up before the fix they had to do. Well, all I know is that this EK block is definitely not that great for the 3950X. I would not recommend it. I don't know. I've had loads of issues. I had actually, I don't know, somehow hair got in. Maybe when I was draining the loop, putting a new block on. But that was clogging up stuff. And then I found that this 480 rad, the flow wasn't that great. I mean, it was actually pretty bad. I actually added another reservoir and pump, and man, it started flowing really well, and the temps started going good. But I still think my biggest problem here now is the block. But I don't really have anything else to compare it to. I did notice someone was talking about a heat killer block, which heat killer blocks are pretty awesome. But I don't have one here. I don't have an AMD mount for it. I have some of the older ones that I used to run. But anyways, let's get it. Man, I swallowed something before I got it. It's killing me. So what have you guys been doing? You guys been overclocking a little bit? I know I've been playing with this setup and been banging my head. It's pretty nice now though, but it took a while. And the chip is not the greatest. What we're gonna do is probably pretty much go through and talk about the whole setup with the 3950X and how you overclock it, and maybe what's a good chip. I've been comparing my chip to a bunch of others on my Discord. If you don't know about my Patreon, you get access to my Discord. So over there we were talking and I was comparing with a bunch of guys, and my chip seems to be one of the worst. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna end up going through some of the settings. I didn't really get to test the chip fully. I didn't get to go through all the LLCs, all the voltages and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna go through some BIOS settings. So if you have this board, if you have an Asus board, it's going to be similar, but remember this is the 2-slot board versus a 4-DIMM slots. What that means is there's only 2 slots. So they're basically wired a little bit different, so you can get some higher clocks. So if you're getting lower clocks than I am, don't be surprised, right? Oh man, ever have something when you drink something and it goes down the wrong hole? Yeah, it's basically what I did right before the stream. All right, so let's get over to profile 4. So you guys can see this. Yeah, I have the one that's basically, oh man, it's killing me. All right, so we'll go over the basics. On the main screen, I'm using BIOS 0050. I'm not sure if there's a better BIOS. I have only tested this one, and it's kind of buggy in some aspects, like the retry button. If you guys don't know what the retry button is, it's basically when you hit it, it's supposed to boot default, but keep all your settings in the BIOS. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. It kind of goes to 00 sometimes for me, or sometimes it just doesn't even work, and I have to reset the BIOS and get back in there anyway. So I'm hoping maybe a nice BIOS update would fix that, but overall, a lot of the AMD systems is the BIOSes are kind of buggy. Even on the MSI X570 Godlike I was using was a little bit buggy, but it's getting better as AMD goes, so can't complain too much. But so let's get into it a little bit. So I'm using 0050. Now if you want to basically use this BIOS or go in and get any of the OC pack, that is all available at hwbot.org. If you go into their forum and you go in, you're gonna have to divvy down a little bit. I should probably show this. Just bear with me. I gotta share a couple things. Man. All right, let's see if you guys, let me organize it a little bit better so you guys can see. I want you guys to be able to follow along a little bit. All right, so what I was saying is basically if you go to hwbot.org. Oh, look at that, Splave took advantage again, bastard. I need to start playing, but it's all 1080 Ti. It's probably doing the 4-way. Let's see. So we go down to forum. Underneath the forum, you have a section in here. It's kind of hard to find a little bit at first, but when you go in here, you'll see right here it says Ryzen Bristol Ridge AM4. Underneath here, you have SafeDisk, and SafeDisk is basically an overclocker from Asus. He works for Asus now. So he put up an LN2 guide. But this was usually it's just not for LN2, but there's also some overclocking stuff in there, like the utilities you want to use, like Turbo V. The BIOSes you want to use, sometimes they have improvements on certain things depending on what you want to do. There might be some memory settings that fix stuff. You never know. This is usually the best first place to go if you want to overclock most of anything that comes to any board, really. Obviously, Intel's not going to be underneath this subheading, but you can see under here, there's a lot of history stuff in here. You can see from posts from like a long time ago. So, but yeah, that's where that is. Let's go back a little bit. And let me see what you guys are saying too. I'm kind of ignoring you. I got too many windows open over here. All right. Oh, look at the poets. 3970X at 4.2. I'm jealous, brother. All right, what we got here? What BIOS are you using? 1302 fixed a lot of issues. Garrett. Which one are you talking about, Garrett? 1B3 after droop. All right. Man, I still can't get, like, maybe I got the COVID. Anyways, so you'll see some of the base settings I have in here. And I'll go over which settings. Keep the B clock at 100. We went to performance enhancer. I didn't really notice too much of a difference between auto and level 3. I figured just keep level 3. Anybody found anything different? Let me know. Memory frequency. So the most I was able to do on CL14 was about 4666. Now, if I went to 1413, I was able to only go to about 4600. From what I've heard on liquid nitrogen, this would probably be a lot higher. What happens with liquid nitrogen is you get that cold effect on the IMC. Just like when with the chip, you can go like 5 gig or 5.2, 5.3, stuff like that. That's because it has a cold scale, right? So an IMC will pretty much have the same thing too. So just because it only does 4600 on air doesn't mean it's not going to be able to go higher on liquid nitrogen. So this is a good sign, basically, that I'll probably be able to do anywhere from like 4800 to 4933 CL1413, which is tight. So, which is good on the AMD platform. That's pretty much kind of what you want to go for. Oh man, let me take some chats because I need to talk this off. It's killing me. Let's see. Hey, I really like your job. I have a R5 3600 at 4.2 at 1.22. A golden chip. But it runs hot. It hits 77 on the Venom Voodoo. Do you think it's worth it? Build a custom water cooler. Yes, but build a water cooler. What that leads me into the thing. So the 3600 obviously is a lot smaller than the 3950X. It's gonna run a lot cooler. You're not gonna have to go too crazy on the custom water. Obviously, you always want to get something, maybe future-proof it. You never know. You might want to get hungry one day and be like, yeah, I want a 3950X. But you don't necessarily, you can pretty much buy any block. What I've noticed with the 3950X is that you really don't want to skimp out on block. This block from EK, I think, came out CES, not this past year, the year before. So this came out way before this was even probably a thought that it was going to happen. So you can't really blame EK for that. Obviously, they introduced new blocks and new blocks as it go. This chip alone is pretty much pushing the thermal envelope just by itself. I mean, it's pretty comparative to, say, like a 18-core or 16-core Intel. So it runs hot. You want to basically have a bunch of, I don't know, a good rad setup and some good fans. Speaking of fans, you see the RGB. These are the Thermaltakes. I don't remember which models. They're 120s. Thermaltake was nice enough to send me a bunch of gear. And basically, we have two CLP 480s. So we got 8 fans on each side. So this is all Thermaltake fans. I have a bunch of EK fans on the other one, but it's also the same rad. What I noticed is that after last stream, I kind of stripped everything down and was looking at it, and I noticed that basically there was like, I don't know, the temps were really, really bad. I mean, when it was on the stock 12 cooler, I mean, the temps were bad, but it's a stock cooler, not a custom water cooling. So when I started going through that, I noticed I had lots of issues. One, I ended up figuring out what they were, but they took me headbanging like quite a bit. It was actually really kicking my butt. So I ended up like draining the loop, trying different ways to organize the loop. I kept on getting air into it, and it was just an overall nightmare. So I ended up ripping the whole loop apart, ended up taking the block. If you look on my Twitter, BeardedHW, you'll see I had there was like hair and stuff in it. I had to take the block, rip it out. And that helped with flow, but it still wasn't there. I would have to move the rad all over the place. I would have to basically go down and like kind of move it to try to get all the air bubbles out. And I'm like, this is just too hard. You should be able to like, you shouldn't have to do all this craziness to get air out of a loop. I mean, if you have proper flow, you shouldn't have this issue. So I was just basically banging my head, and I wasn't really sure what to do. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try another pump. Sure enough, when I put this, so just having one 480 and one pump, the flow wasn't good. As soon as I introduced the second pump, my load temperatures dropped by almost 15 degrees. So if you don't have flow, it's a no-go. So, oh, Jim Hurley, keep up the great work. Thanks, Slacker. I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for you guys. So, which leads me to the point. If you check out beardedhardware.com, we got shirts all up. Basically, these shirts are made by me. They're not the same ones that you see with Teespring and stuff like that. So, if you go to beardedhardware.com, this week I'm going to be releasing a couple stickers, a new shirt. I think we're going to go live now totally, completely with the sweatshirt. So, I just have to update the picture. So, but check it out if you want, man. That helps support me during the channel. I literally have no job right now. I'm basically just doing this from now on. So, we're just going to be doing this all the time. So, also, make sure you like and subscribe. I've noticed that some people were saying that it's kind of a pain. Like, nobody's ever getting, like, notifications about my streams and stuff. Make sure when you go back to the subscription, make sure you go to basically all events or something like that. I forget exactly what it is, but when you go and subscribe, there's a little button where you can switch, and it tells you like if you want personalized or you just want all. So make sure you do that. Oh, so Jim, thanks, broski. Let's see, 5700 XT if you're at. That actually brings me up a thing. So would you guys like? So here, let me get into this whole story. So what do you guys think of the 5700 XT while we're on it? Because I have one sitting in this closet over here, and I remember doing if you check out, I did an unboxing of it, and I've literally not touched it for a while. So basically, I think maybe we need to revisit that. When I was working on doing liquid nitrogen on with this Steve, I really couldn't stand working with the card. All the software mods you had to do, registry entry changes, I mean, it was beyond horrible to work with. So I don't know, would you guys be interested in basically seeing 5700 XT like modded? Like I'll rip it apart, we'll do some soldering on it, we'll do some volt mods, we'll basically go through and kind of check it out. So if you guys want to hear that, make sure you comment and basically talk about it and let me know that you guys want to do it, because I don't know, it seems like fun. I want to play with the card and forget all that software crap. Let's get right to the hard mods, huh? So let me know about it. If you guys want to do something like that, I'm totally down. So, let's see. So let's get back into our settings and everything for the 3950X. Because I'll probably ramble off a couple times, but that's just what I do. But yeah, so we were talking about memory before, about 4600. So this is the most I can get. Basically, if I can't get any further than this. I can't even post. And what that means by post is as soon as I reboot, there's basically a test, you know, the post codes. Basically, it won't go through there, so I'd have to reset BIOS, go in, change the settings, and then do it again. So 4600 is pretty much my hard limit. If I go to 1414, I can go to 1466, but what I've found is the 4600, 1413 is a little bit more efficient. So we're going to stay with that. Obviously, core ratio, I was initially testing because I was getting really hot temps even at 4 gig. On load, I was hitting like 100 degrees Celsius, which is not good. So, we're gonna do all cores. We're probably gonna go over, like, we could probably go over the ratio later. I just want to do all cores right now and make sure, because I haven't really tested it fully. I only tested like certain things, so I kind of want to go with that with you guys. And let's see. So we got, here's some of the voltages I'm using, right? So right now I'm just setting 1.25 volts. On the SoC, about 1.0 volts. I'm basically right now just keeping auto on the, where is it here? F clock. So on the F clock, I'm just basically keeping it at auto, which is, I think by default goes to 1200. We're doing 4600. If you guys didn't know how you changed F clock, it was right there. SoC, if I want to do like 39 or 19, was it 1900 on F clock? I need to have this at 1.15. So, and then also if you want to get to basically 3800 on F clock, you're gonna want to do a CLD VDDG at probably about 1.05. That seemed to be pretty well. And then also the SB voltage I bumped up to 1.05, and then I was able to basically do. You got to a point where you're almost at 1900, and when it's like, what is it? I think it's like 1866. At that, I wouldn't be able to post. It would just basically fail, and I'd have to reset BIOS. Until I set that voltage there, then I was allowed to actually post and then boot up into the operating system. So that's what you want to take note on. Now, let's go over a couple other things. So we have this, the normal basic VRM settings, right? Underneath there, you're going to want to change a couple different things. You're going to want to go to the CPU load line calibration. Now, this is a mistake by me because I'm on an Asus board one day, on a Gigabyte board another day, an MSI board another day, and then maybe an ASRock board the next day. So sometimes between board manufacturers, you kind of have to play with the settings and figure out exactly what you have to do, right? Or what is actually happening. Level 2 on load line calibration for Asus is completely different than load line 2 on an ASRock board. On the ASRock board, it was basically you started from level 1, and then the more droop you would get as you go level 2, level 3, level 4, right? Well, if you do on Asus, it's actually the opposite. So for a while, I was kind of going through, and I'm like, I'll just set level 2, because that's normal, right? Yeah, not so good. You actually want to go down to about level 4. That gives you a little droop like this. It's not... At level 2, is basically, as soon as you would hit the voltage, say if you set 1.25, or I think it was 1.2 or 1.28, it would drop on load to about 1.18. That's what we call way too much droop. So we're going to change that to level 4 here. We're going to go basically keep the switching frequency, disable the spread spectrum. I usually change this any of the duty control or power phase control, the thermal or power phase control. Thermal. I usually keep thermals. You don't want to start messing with thermals on water or air. The reason why is if this can actually damage the board or damage the CPU. When you turn off the safety mechanisms, it's possible to kill your CPU much easier. So you want to be very careful with that. Now the other thing here is we have the load line calibration for SoC voltage. So we want to also put that at level 4, right? We want to do a current capacity 140 on each, and then also do the SoC phase control as extreme. We did 1.25 on voltage, and what did 1 on SoC, and then 1.9 on DRAM. A lot of people always could say, "Oh my gosh, 1.9." Now this is not a daily setup. Daily, will it kill your RAM? Possibly. I bench with these all the time, and they've been on there for like ever, and no issue. But that doesn't mean you might not have a bad module, and it could possibly kill it. So usually what we do is we put on like a small fan, keep air going over it. You don't have to go too crazy, but you want to do it. Why don't they include some graph or text that explains how the LLC works on their motherboard? Because that would be too easy, right? That would actually make too much sense. I don't know. I always wonder that too. That's why, like on the ASRock board, it's a little bit nicer where you can actually see by graph. Anyways, now I'll always make I'll make a notification on it, or I'll let them know about it. I'm like, rock and roll. I didn't even get a notification. So I talked about this. When you're doing subscriptions, when you go and sub for me, you got to make sure you actually hit all. By default, I think it goes to personalized, so it's not going to be everything, and they try to spread it out. So if you go through the other one, you can do it. Oh, Chuck Sanders, you guys can't see, so I got to allow this a little bit. So he goes, B-Die, you can just put a shit ton of voltage to it. Pretty much. It also depends on like what kind of RAM you actually do have. So you need to find out if it's like, say, Hynix. Most Thermaltake, all Thermaltake modules I think are Hynix. Some G-Skill bins will be B-Die, some will be Hynix. So you first have to pretty much figure out what kind of IC modules you have on your memory sticks, because I've seen different bins be both of the same. So before you end up trying to do anything memory, you want to maybe go into oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of it, but you can actually go and see. It's the utility I have on here, basically where I do temperatures and stuff. Underneath there, you can actually see like what ICs and stuff are. But yeah. God damn. It's killing me. That's better. Oh, yeah. All right, let's take some questions in here. You guys have any questions so far? Basically, you want to talk about voltages, stuff like that? Let's see. I'll go over some of the stuff. It says, I finally got some silicon conformal coating to try liquid metal again. I need to gather the energy to tearing water. Dude, tearing a loop down is kind of a pain in the ass. I actually have this thing completely simplified where I have a fitting where I just pop off and drains completely. And then I can just do water back in it again. Let's see. So the next thing, YouTube be slacking. Yeah, the notification things are kind of weird. Rock and roll, got it. Doing that now. You better. So when if you guys want to check your settings on if you've subscribed or not, you want to make sure you want to change it to all notifications. So, alrighty, no bueno. What is that supposed to mean, Chuck? I bench my B-Die at 2 volts all the time. Windows 10 won't let me go higher than that. Basically, auto blue screening. A lot of the times, there can be a fine line with some B-Die. I've seen them where they don't like anywhere over 1.95. I think most of it, but that was older, like the older B-Die. The newer B-Die seems to be pretty well. All right. Let's see. Does overvolting memory actually damages the IMC? I haven't seen the voltage from the memory do anything with the voltage on there. I think you'd probably do more damage if you do very high SoC voltage. Slacker, long time. Regentech, what's up, Slacker? It's gonna be sad that I'm not gonna see you at Computex. I'm really disappointed about that. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Oh, did you see Lumi KP? He did a 2080 Ti at 13,000. Yes, we need to try that again too. We need to do 13,000 too, but I don't know how good my card is. I know the last time we tried, it was a little eh. So, but it was also, I think the last time we tried, we also had a bad mount. So, we might have to give that a roll. Supposedly, I'm able to get some liquid nitrogen. So, what I'm going to have to do is, I'm going to have to hook up with my LN2 supplier and see how quick I can get it. I know no bueno is Spanish. Come on. Oh, right. It's better not killing you. What? Crap IMC. QDCs make life easier when taking a loop apart. Isn't that the truth? I love them, to be honest. What was the safest voltage to run the 3950X 4.6 all-core? I would say that anywhere over 1.35. I mean, it's really what temps and cooling you use. To see you get 4.6, I'd like to see that because I haven't seen anything that was really that stable. At least my chip sucks compared to that, so. Hynix all day, 128 gig with my Threadripper. Damn, 128 gig, that's a lot of memory. I need to upgrade my memory. What is the difference in OCing via VIII or VCore? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Let's see. Udafomo, because at 2-1, if you can clock memory frequency high enough, the timing's tight enough, you can match your best 1-1. What Keep Hagen is saying, OC, he basically is completely right. One of the special parts of this board is that it's a 2 dim slot board. So it's going to be able to clock memory higher than any of the other boards. And it's going to be able to do it much better. Really, it has to do a lot with the traces, how close they are to the CPU. This board is more of an OC board than anything. But yeah, so one of the things that you notice, what I've talked about like on the MSI board, is when you had like 1900 F clock and 3800 memory, whenever you went above 3800, say 4000 memory, basically performance would shit the bed. So on this board, it's kind of the opposite, because what you can do is you can push the memory, and on that memory limit, so you might only be able to get like 4200 on the MSI board or 4300. What you can do is you can really go much higher with this board and get the memory even higher to try that match that speed. This actually kind of helps when you, especially when you want to go on liquid nitrogen, right? Because there's F-clock issues. They cause cold bugs. So we're not really too worried about the F-clock. We're more worried about being able to raise memory much higher. So it's very beneficial for a bencher to be able to do. So what RAM I'm using? You can't even see them. So they're the G-Skill Trident Royal Z's. These are a special bin of mine that I've gone through and tested to get. A lot of the guys, a lot of benchers and stuff will go and buy a bunch of memory and go and bin them and go through them and see which ones are the best. They'll test each individual one. When you start going through a lot of modules and stuff, I know I keep talking about we're going to do a memory stream. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow or the next day, now that we finally have a setup to do memory on. But anyways, a lot of the times what they'll do is they'll go and buy a bunch of modules and they go through and try to find the best ones. So, Gadget Joe, what's going on? Slacker. If you guys got a chance, go check out Gadget Joe. He's a good dude. I think he better still have a beard. If he doesn't, he's in trouble. But anyway, I'm doing good. Doing as good as you can do, I guess. I don't know. Oh, Rogentech, just missing you there. Yeah, it's so sad about Computex. Usually that's like one of my most favorite times. It's gonna be weird. This will be the first time in 6 years that I haven't been there. It's kind of weird. Alright, so it's 2 volts safer B-die. Man, that seems like a lot. Pretty much, yeah. I've ran all the way up to 2.1 without any problems. The Poets bought a CPU block from Optimus back in December for the 3970X, and they claimed they were just now shipping them this week. They claimed to get some incredible performance. Yes! So, there's awesome... What the heck is going on there? There's an awesome company called Optimus. They make some badass water blocks. They're really well known for their X99 or X299 blocks, but apparently their Threadripper blocks are supposed to be amazing. So supposedly I have some samples coming, and we're going to be able to test them. So I'm going to go through and we'll use the same setup and just switch out the block and see how good the block is. So that's going to be something we'll be doing. So yeah, Optimus blocks. I'm excited to get it. Supposedly I'm supposed to get like an AMD version, the X299 version, and the Threadripper version. So we'll do a stream. We'll talk about it when it comes. Yeah, for sure. Sounds like too much work. What isn't truly gained? I'm not sure what you're talking about at this point. Jim, what are good SoC values? Why are 1.4 or higher chosen as default? Isn't that high? Can you explain what it does? What are good SoC values? Well, 1.4 is definitely too high. I only needed 1.15 to get pretty much anything I need to do. I don't know the technical terms. All I know is that maybe 1.4 on liquid nitrogen would be okay. But SoC that high is probably not the best on water cooling or anything like that. It's just not needed. Anytime, I always recommend that you always try to keep voltages lower, and that way that it keeps the heat out. You'll gain more from like heat or lessening the heat than anything. So, and I appreciate the $5 too, broski. Let's see. So you're getting 4.6 on all core without super cold ambient temps or cascade cooling. Even 4.6 on your CCD is hard. Yeah, I wish I could get that because I ain't getting anything of that. What RAM using? G-Skill Trident Royal Z's. I'm running those at 330 now, but I was able to hit nice Rubens. When I want to do undervolt my 300H, which voltages can I push down? Core voltage and SoC. You can push them both down. My recommendation is you don't have to use a specific value just because somebody else is. You want to know each chip is different. Like, you'd be very surprised. You can get one chip that is like on the high end of the spectrum where you might need a lot of volts for each. And then you might get one that's just for one, and then you might get that is just SoC voltage that's higher. You'd be surprised. So all chips are different. Not one's going to be the tailor-made for everyone. You got to kind of play around. All right. Probably won't be any better than the Heat Killer. The Heat Killer is pretty awesome. Oh, man, I'm catching up. What's up, Slacker? Adam Schumann, $5. I want tater tots. Man, guys are making me hungry already. Those 1.9 volts scares the hell out of me. Never did higher than 1.4. 5.4. It depends on the memory. It's really not as bad. We're not doing it all the time, so. But anyways, you go to Hollywood, Slacker. Really, though, you have skills. You're welcome. All day, baby. Multiple sticks from different sets. Let's see if I can go anything. I haven't heard anyone say anything amazing about Optimus products. That wasn't trying to sell Optimus products. Well, I'm not selling Optimus products, and I'm telling you it's pretty badass. So, they've actually showed me some pictures and ideas on what they want to do. I don't know if I can give that information out, but I think they're doing something that's probably no other company that's really speaking about it. So, I don't know. I think before we start talking smack about all different, like, everything, let's just wait and get a hold of it, you know. Oh, it's totally fine. 2 volts. Let's shoot. Clear the BIOS. I don't even know where it happened to that one. When I clear the BIOS, it sees it defaults to 1.4 or 1.6. Also might be a shitty Asus BIOS. Yeah, I've noticed that. It's kind of funny. So I set 1.25 volts now, and as soon as I reset the BIOS, it goes to like 1.4 or 1.45, I think, and it's funny that this stock temp just really sucks. So, I don't know. I think if you're just a noob starting out, that just lowering the voltage a little bit will give you better temperatures and might increase your overclock. So, you don't really have to keep the default that's there. You might run into issues, so you want to run all through the basic tests and stuff. But that could be something, I mean, it's really not that difficult. All right, so not for daily. What do we got? 4400, 1616, 1.4 on the MSI Meg Ace. Yeah, MSI usually does pretty good memory. The only thing is I think the dual socket board is gonna just be higher, and usually MSI is really good for memory clocks, but overall performance on the two, I'm not so sure how it would compare. I do want to try, when we do liquid nitrogen on this, I want to basically try and compare this versus the X570 Meg Godlike from MSI. I kind of want to compare the both, because that's the only other board that I've really put on, that's AMD, that, not even just AMD, but X570-ish, that I've put on liquid nitrogen. So it's kind of, it'd be interesting to see what's the difference, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's see. What's your opinion on a Maxus Jenny for the 9900K? Want to overclock 5.1, 5.2? The Jenny is a great board. The VRM is lacking a little bit, so the Apex is going to be a little bit better as far as VRM. It just has more phases. But the Jenny is actually an awesome memory overclocking board, so that one's highly recommended. So you can't go wrong with that. I'm getting 106 seconds on my Threadripper, 30 on 800, no need for OC on the RAM. Yeah, Threadripper is also different. So a lot of people I've seen confuse the X570 with Threadripper. Threadripper really is a monster with memory. Like, you can basically, it's quite interesting how 4K, 4200, 4300, like, the performance actually scales. It's pretty badass. Says, hey, I only say that once. Check out my channel. I make weird sounds and stuff related to weird sounds. Thanks. Now about the CPU. Ryzen is great, but doesn't OC very good in my experience. So far mine is not the best. Big Al 268, $5. Thanks, broski. Hey Joe, got the stream on while I rework a couple of PCs. Slack on. You have fun there, broski. Any difference between LN2 overclock and an ITX? It depends on the VRM on the board. So one of the best boards, so this is the Impact, right? This is the first AMD board that has the Impact name, or the first AMD Asus board. The Impact actually came from a Z170 board. It was a MITX board. That board was badass. It was like one of my favorite boards ever. And they did it for Z270, but then in Z370, I think they did it in Z97 and then did Z170 and then they stopped with Z270. That's when they came out with the Apex. But it's pretty badass. So it really depends on a bunch of other stuff. So I think the only limitation with this board is that you're going to have some issues with PCIe. AMD has naturally some issues with PCIe when it comes to liquid nitrogen and cold. So you can't really do the same thing as some of the other boards, but you got to really bend your chip to see if you have cold bugs or not. So, my board has auto SA voltage of 1.24 when there's barely anything to gain from going above 1. Yeah, so that's the case I was talking about before. So if you're at 1.24, but the chip, if you go down to 1 and you don't notice a difference at all in performance, lower it, because you know what that will do, right? It will bring your temperatures down, and then technically you might even be able to throw maybe another little couple megahertz at it. It might be faster. Lego Freak, $5. Much appreciated, broski. Have you ever attempted to desolder the modules of a RAM you binned for OC and for the CPU? No. Basically, yeah. Just because I've never actually just desoldered the ICs off of RAM. Would be kind of cool to do. Might be something to think about. A lot of the times we bin them that are already done. It would be kind of cool to be able to do that, but we don't really have anything out there. It would be kind of cool though. I know guys back in the day used to take like graphic cards and take chips off of, or like take memory chips off and bin them and then put them on other cards and stuff like that. But me personally, I haven't ever done that. It's one of the only things I haven't done. Can I use manual voltage? I think so. If PBO is working, I'm pretty sure that it will still work, but the thing is it might not boost as much as possible. There's a lot of unknowing workings of the PBO, so personally, I'm not a person that really uses it. I like the manually overclock stuff. XOC is the one of the two last things Inter can enjoy right now. I have no idea what the hell that means. Hey, what do you think of the 9900K clocking to... Usually 5 gigs should be easy on a 9900K. I don't think I've ever seen a 9900K that didn't do 5 gig. So, if that helps you. Says, Threadripper cares more about ranks of memory versus anything else. More ranks means more performance. Yeah, because it's quad channel. It's actually pretty badass. Memory clocking on Threadripper is probably one of the things that impressed me the most about the system. It's really kind of one of my favorite platforms. I wish we could... I don't know. I need to test more. I'm going to take that ASRock board and test, basically test the Threadripper again. I want to see how it is on 3D. I never really got a chance to do it on cold because I've heard rumors that it might be able to work. I'm not so sure though. The easiest board to OC in 2020 so far. I don't know. I feel like I've been having so much difficulty with all boards lately. I don't know. I don't know if we have an award for that yet. I think 2020 is still not, we're not still that far into 2020 for me to be happy about it. Alright, hi from North Carolina. I'm glad I got to finally catch your stream. What's the average OC for a 7900 and a Rampage? It's hard to say. I haven't really touched the 7900 in forever. 5 gigs probably is on a really golden chip, maybe like 4.8, 4.7 maybe. Gabby Tech, I wish I had an AMD system. You should get an AMD system. They're fun to play with. Also pushing 4.7 and 3900. Let's try to get some more stuff. You guys are good. About binning, you buy a ton and return the bad ones, or you resell them? Usually I would resell them. I'm kind of a hoarder, so I usually keep whatever I buy, so a lot of the times I don't even resell. I don't know, if you guys join Patreon, we're going to have some more giveaways. A guy just won, this card's actually going out tomorrow, but he won a nice 1070. John over in the Patreon thing, so we're going to do some monthly updates on that. Monthly giveaways, but that's for, you got to be joined on Patreon. It's a monthly, you can do like $2 a month, $10 a month, $20 a month. There's some cool stuff in there. Let's see. What else? Enjoying the stream. Is switching the memory like that's something you may do in the future? If you're talking about soldering chips, probably not, but you never know. It could be something. I got a lot of stuff that I gotta be doing anyway. Alright, thanks for the great content. Privet bugging. Need a better cooler. Off top? Yes, I definitely need a better cooler on this one. BIOS, what are you talking about? I tried to overclock my Phenom, but I have a gigabyte. My 7900s back in the day did 5 gig deleted. Oh, with a 7900, you want to, I think, yeah, is that 10 core? That should be 10 core. Anything like that that's not soldered, you want to delid. That's kind of one of the cool things about the 7980XE and the 7960XE is that you could basically put liquid metal underneath the, basically between the die and the IHS. And it was pretty damn awesome. So, it's one of the things that I don't necessarily like about the 9980XE or the 10980XE, but it is what it is. Let's see, my 78... Oh, what's up? AJ Von Berg. What's up, man? What is the highest temp you've ever reached on the chip, and what chip was it? I actually want to say the W3175. I think it was doing like 105C on water cooling. So, but the thing is I think I had this chip up to 105C too, when I was having all the flow issues and stuff. So, what I'll do is I'll go through and check out a couple things. I think I'll get an AMD system in a couple days. FX 8120 platform. The cheap one, the old one. Jaden Terra, thanks for the 40. Shout out to Tullius Tech and OC Inc. Chateau. I always mess up his name, but awesome dude. That's my broski over there. Hey, do you think I should delid my 8700K and use some liquid metal? I worry that the liquid metal would be toxic or something. So, there's cases when you want to use liquid metal, and then there's cases where you don't want to use liquid metal, right? On a 8700K, you want to use liquid metal. When you're deliding, the paste kind of sucks on the old one. It's fine if you're using it for stock, but when you want to delid it, put liquid metal on there. Just make sure you follow the guides on how to do it. Make sure you put it on both sides. You put it on the actual die itself, and then you want to put it on the actual heat spreader itself. I know Roman and a bunch of those guys. I'll probably do a video sometime about it, just so, just to have the content. But yeah, it on graphic cards. I don't recommend doing it because after a while it kind of eats into the card, and like you'll have resistors fall off and stuff. And plus, it doesn't even work very well anyway. If you've seen from Steve from Gamers Nexus, I think we did a Q&A on it. The same video he was talking about, or maybe it was a other video, and it was talked about there, but. He shows you how to do the shunt mod, stuff like that. But same board, overclocks, FX 8350. I have to 4.9. I think was that probably. I have a CROSSHAIR. I don't even remember what the chipset is on that. But anyways, I got 3950. The main overclock for the 3950. As I got ours to X570, would that be okay to overclock? What? I think you got. I have no idea what the hell that says. I think you're main 4 gig or something. I have no idea. You're gonna have to rephrase that question. Also, ordered the offset mount from DeBauer. We'll be reviewing it when it gets here, but shipping is bad. Won't be here till the end of April. Yeah, DeBauer just sucks on shipping in general. I'm still waiting for my pots, by the way. I don't think I'll ever see a direct die. Maybe I should get it from him. GPUs are direct die. Well, the problem with GPU is that you're sideways, right? So liquid metal, it likes to basically drip down. So you want to make sure that underneath that it doesn't fall down. Well, otherwise we use liquid metal on the GPU, and it actually works very, very well. So, Overclock the Ryzen 5 to 3600 4.2 gigs. What should I put the core voltage on? It depends. You can start off, I would say start off at 1. If it fails, or if it goes, maybe then you're good. But maybe try 1.105. I just go with little steps and see what you need. About to do a video on maintenance on it. Nice, to Poets. If you get a chance, to Poets, he's a small little YouTuber. He's still growing. Check out his YouTube channel. But anyways, let's get into enough questions. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. So we already went over some of the voltages. We're gonna go, let's see, precision boost. I just disabled it. DRAM control. So this is the base settings that I'm using. So 14, 13, 13, 30, 51, 44, 16, 48, 12, 1, TRC 260. Now, make sure you guys can see this in the video. And I'll show you. So what's cool about the Asus boards is a lot of the overclockers basically go through and check out a bunch of different stuff. So underneath here, you'll see we have a thing called memory presets, right? So if you go to memory presets, you have a bunch of different things to work with here, right? So you'll see that you can load a 4 gigahertz 1.5 module or 1.5 volts for 2 8 gig BDI, right? So they have one that's 4133, one 4000. It also specifies if they're 8 gig sticks versus 16 sticks, stuff like that. And it will make a difference too. Then you have like another one with 3600, 3800 with BDI. You have 216s. Again, these are going to be the bigger ones. These will be the 16 gig sticks. You have daily ones. So this is kind of where you want to basically start off, right? So this is kind of the one, because you have EDI, you have Hynix, but of course you got to figure out which memory you have first. So we'll show you how to do that too. Well, yeah. So they have one there like if you want to go for like a memory record or stuff, you can do load raw megahertz. From what I'm finding on the 3950X is that the IMC doesn't seem to be as good as, say, maybe like a 3700X or a 3600X. And now the reason why that it's like that is, well, there's more cores that have to interact with the IMC, right? So it's the same thing on Intel chips when you go from like the DT platform. You go anything from 10 cores up to 18 core, they kind of struggle with the IMC. They're also quad channel too. But it seems like the 3700, 3600 might actually have, I wouldn't say better, but I don't know. You might be able to get more frequency out of them. Let's see, what else we got here? Gotta get some pizza. Be right back in 5 minutes. Man, I kind of want some pizza. Oh, I'm using liquid metal on a GTX 980 Ti SC. I used some nail polish to protect the components on the top of the chip. I was good to go. Yeah, so a lot of the times when you're doing liquid metal, you want to be careful that you don't see any resistors or caps or anything like that. You don't want it to get on there because it can short your stuff. So a lot of people, what they do is they put on like a clear nail polish, or you can do a colored nail polish. I think DeBauer always uses like red or black. Instead of using clear, I'd like to use something maybe like a black or any type of color, because that way you know like how it's spread out. You can see it better, because sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. But all right, so let's go. Okay, that's good. So this is basically all the memory settings we have. We went over the voltages. We're going to start off with basically low F clock. I just usually disable most of that stuff. SMT mode is if you want to basically, it's like turning through hyper-threading off. I'm still learning some of these too, because this is the first time in a long time I've been on the Asus board. So if I say something wrong, don't kill me too bad, huh? We're using a SSD, so basically we're gonna have to keep using the SATA. So you don't want to turn that off. That'd be bad. Let's see, onboard devices. So here we always usually turn off the audio controller. You can keep most of the other stuff on. I always turn off the LAN controller. Most of my bench OSs, I never have any type of internet access to them. It's just better to do that. You want to have less resources running if you want to be bench stable, so. Let's see, turn off the Bluetooth controller, turn off the Wi-Fi module. It's kind of nice on this board, because you can actually do, interesting. One of the issues when you're benching these on cold is that a lot of the times with certain gens, you can actually get them colder. You can actually make the cold bug colder, I guess you can say. It's always weird when you're getting to those cold temperatures and you say colder, then it's weird when the number's up, like minus 160 versus minus 120. Because you kind of almost just naturally want to say hotter. It's kind of funny. Made a thin crust pizza with BIOS bites for crust all around it. Dude, you're making me starving right now. Anyways, so yes, we're gonna basically turn off any of that basic shit. Go in here, not there. PCA is fine. That should be fine. NVMe, we're not using NVMe. And that should be good. Before, I was getting some weird issues in here with CPU temperature, so it would spike sometimes. Wasn't really too happy with it. But anyway, CPU fan speed, if you don't basically put that on ignore, and if you don't have anything plugged into it, it's just gonna basically error every time you boot. So I just choose ignore. You don't necessarily want to do that. A lot of the times, what I like to do is set it up to a pump. Like if you're in a water-cooled system, you want to put that pump there, so you want that to fail, basically. Let's see. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. I usually save them in profiles. The nice thing about Asus, you can save it in a profile. That way you can just jump back to what you're doing. Because there is a cool thing, like a retry button, where you hit it. So if you failed, it won't post. You're supposed to be able to hit that and go into the BIOS and have your old settings. It doesn't always work, so you want to make sure that you save a profile. That's what I've found. Timmy Joe, PC Tech, Slacker of the Year award. Anyways. Oh, man, I wish I had some pizza. So what's up, Timmy Joe? What you slacking at? I'm just going over some nice impact settings. To be honest, actually, I need to save over it because I made some changes. So let's do that real quick. Yeah. Damn it, I'm notorious for saving over a profile that I was using that just became completely useless. And then I have to start all over again, which sucks. You're technically running on a 960 rad for the 3950X. Yes, technically, so if you guys are new here and you're just stopping by, basically I'm overclocking the 3950X. We have 960 worth of radiator space, so it's basically two 480s. We got 16 fans. We got these nice 8 pretty Thermaltake fans. To be honest, I kind of love Thermaltake's fans. RGB, probably the best. I don't think anybody makes a better RGB one. One thing I just can't stand about RGB is the default colors. I was actually at CES, I was like, dude, can we like program some manlier colors? Like, instead of doing like this stuff? Timmy Joe, have fun water cooling. What is that supposed to mean, man? Just kidding. Alrighty. So, but anyway, yeah, so we got 2 pumps. I noticed a big difference after going to a second pump. I wasn't getting enough flow. You gotta figure these 480 rads are huge, right? They're also like this thick. So basically, you want to have really, really good flow, and it affected my temperatures dramatically. In a little bit, we'll go in, when I boot into the operating system, I take a lot of screenshots and stuff, and basically, and in there, I have a bunch of screenshots, and I can show you temps and stuff, and I'll show you a bunch of, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Still drinking energy drinks. They're not going to keep you up all night. To be honest, it's kind of funny. I haven't been able to sleep much lately. I don't know. I was up early this morning. I was kind of playing in the stock market. Trying to do something to occupy the time. Besides play with computers, obviously. And I've made a determination that, or not a determination, but Basically, I gotta start doing more computer stuff. So that way I can make content for you fine people. Alright, so we're gonna boot up, plug in my SSD. Because I hate hitting delete. Pisses me off all the time. Oh, what could be more manly than having the confidence to rock the rainbow bar? I know, dude. You know, I really had this conversation at CES with them. I go, why can't we have manly colors as default? I was like, I don't know. I just never understood the rainbow default. And pretty much every company does the same. I was telling Thermaltake, I was like, dude, you guys could be ahead of the game and be like, have all manly ones, you know? Am I gonna start taking an options trading channel? Man, I don't think I should. You don't want to take tips from me, bro. So it's kind of impressive how a computer can look, but I can't understand that somebody pays so much money for this. Well, you can do a lot with computers nowadays. You'd be surprised. Mortal Wizard, love the tunes in the background. Yeah, you gotta have some music in the background. I mean, otherwise it's just kind of boring. So we gotta rock out. You gotta love it. If you don't want to hit delete, then make a shortcut. I know, bro. I'm always doing the other thing. It's just what I do, bro. Hello, greetings there from the Philippines. What's up, Gaze Monkey? What's up, broski? Yeah, so if you guys want to know what the music is, it's basically epidemic sounds. So one of the issues I have as being a streamer is that if I put any type of music that's like public or not available, or you know what I mean, if it's really commercially available, they'll basically kill my channel. So we need to try to monetize as much as possible, especially since I'm trying to do this full-time now. Since I don't have a job. I don't know how many most of you have jobs or not, but who knows. But anyways, so single color doesn't show its capability of multicolor. I'm not even sure. Oh, rainbow is to show its RGB. Yeah, I know, I just don't like it. Drives me nuts. That was a lot of fun at Thermaltake booth. Yeah, the poets, you were there with me, broski. There were a jumper for... Yes! See, Joseph's on the point right here. It would be nice if there were a jumper for default of rainbow versus a default of something you programmed. Yeah, like, I feel like there should be, like, a manly version, right? Like, I don't know, deep red, or, yeah, just something. Holding shift while selecting restart does the same thing. Yeah, it's not more about the restart, though. Let's see, so let's go in. Let's see if you can see, make sure you see. So, HW Info is a great utility, right? It will give you a lot of information. So my favorite area is right here. So you'll see like the CPU, you get basically all the CPU die temp, you get the CCD temp, both 1 and 2. There's 2 on a 3950X. So if you have a smaller chip, it's going to be different. You can see what voltage is set. What's nice about the voltage here is you actually see like the minimum and maximum. When you're testing LLC, you can go through and see a lot of the time. So this is how I knew about level 4 versus level 2. So what I was saying before is, remember, the load line's different, say, on an ASRock board versus an MSI board or an Asus board, right? And it was actually the opposite from an ASRock board. Instead of level 2, you want level 4. So this is how I was noticing it. So I was noticing, because I'd have like 1.3 volts, and it would go down to all the way to like 1.18 on load. So it dropped down like this. So this is basically how I'm able to do it. You can get a lot of good information in here. Like, one of the biggest issues is like, say, is that on there? Yeah, the Infinity Fabric Clock. So you can see that we're at an IF of 1800, and you have the memory controller of the U clock. I forgot what I was supposed to say there, but whatever. Yeah. So one of my biggest issues, so I'm going to go over some screenshots that I took over the past couple days. And I was really having a bunch of issues. Okay, that's not it. Let's see. Try to figure out where I'm going here. Yeah, you can see here at 4.2, I was hitting like 95C with the original one. So, what I didn't realize what was happening is with the pump, and I had a clog in the pump, there was basically like, I don't know if it was lint or whatever, got into the damn loop and was basically in the block itself. If you look on my, what's it called, my Twitter, I basically posted a picture of some nasty goo in the middle of the block. Some bullshit. And then I also didn't have another pump. Really, the major bonus that I got was just getting the extra pump. So to be honest, I'm kind of defaulting to probably always using 2 pumps now in all my water systems, because I'm just so convinced of how much better it is. It's kind of crazy. All right, we got here Joshua Bell. What about the temps? What's the average and max? Manly version is Shine's deep pink. Hey, thanks to New Black. Panda, man, on my way home, driving home. Third wheel gamer, hi, what's up? Rest in peace, the phone viewers. Everybody, yo, please listen up. Okay. Oh, hi, Joe, Nerdy Girl, what up? Long time, where have you been? We got Bobby Boucher. Got my orange with my deep blue Rogue GC and CROSSHAIR water cooler. Nice. Not a real channel. Where are the likes at? Oh, we are slacking on the likes. We're only at 117 and we got 200 people. Why you all slacking? Third Wheel Gamer, thank you so much. Maurice, what up, slacker? Slap the like. Gotta support my Florida brother. Good job, Wizard. But anyways, so let's get in. Make sure you likes. I mean, you guys are all slacking on likes. Come on, come on. Come on, make sure you like, subscribe, all that nonsense. But the likes, if you guys didn't know that, likes are very important. Because when we do streams and stuff, basically the algorithm says, oh, people like this. So it actually spreads it out. So it's really important that you slap the like button to help support the channel. So that way I can do a lot more of these. Because they're fun. I enjoy slacking with you guys. You guys rock. Push, pull, pump, config. What up, Johnny Chang? What's up, Will? Slackers. Is that Will? Who knows? Anyways, so you'll see some of these scores here, but I had some really bad temps. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that, Nerdy Girl. Well, I hope your dad's doing better. Hi, man. Do you have a favorite motherboard brand? To be honest, I'm probably... I don't know. Depends on what you want to do. Like, I feel like Asus can be the, easiest. ASRock's pretty much on point. EVGA makes a damn good board now. So, you have a lot of options. I can't hate on anyone. Even the MSI boards are pretty damn good. It depends on what you get. Greetings from Germany. Dezinus? Something like that. Maurice, what up? I gave a like, so we should be cool. Can't do better, bro. Any more collabs with Wendell? Of course. Maybe we'll have to talk about maybe either tomorrow or Thursday. I know Wendell's been pretty busy. If you have never checked out Level 1 Techs, Wendell's pretty awesome. So some of you guys might know. So we did a stream last week. It was kind of interesting. We just did it out of nowhere. So we might do that again. We definitely will. I know he's invited me, and I'd probably invite him on too, because he's an awesome guy, and I highly recommend the channel. So, but yeah, we're gonna do a lot more of those. But anyways, right after I joined Slack Party, I'm not worthy. No, you're not worthy. Just kidding. Make sure you manually increase your resolution, viewers. It defaults to 720. Why is it defaulting to 720? Damn YouTube. Heard your hardware. You have any MSI X299 boards? Actually, I don't. For X299, I pretty much benched exclusively ASRock. And EVGA too with the Dart. RGB gives you 5 extra megahertz. It's like stickers, bro. Oh, speaking of stickers, if you go to beardedhardware.com, there's no stickers there, but there will be. So I'm going to have some stickers up. I'm just trying to figure out a couple different ones to get for you guys. So yeah, it's definitely coming. Just left my like, Colorado. Come on, man. Everybody got lag. Spend a week from Intel to AMD Ryzen. What a nightmare memory is. Yeah, going back through both systems can go crazy. It says, I'm so glad you didn't say Gigabyte. Oh, come on. Don't hate on Gigabyte. Gigabyte actually has really good stuff. It's just their BIOS is usually a friggin' nightmare. Spy wouldn't run. Turn off FreeSync. He's fine, but he lost a leg, so I'm taking care of him until his prosthesis. Well, dang, that's crazy. I'm not sure. I was actually, not many people know this, but I was actually almost about to lose an ankle. They were going to cut my ankle off. So I know how it feels, but that's crazy. I never actually had it done, but yeah. Marvin Jogger, thanks for the buck. Appreciate it, broski. I hear AMD launched Better Bin to Epic. At least I got such an email from them. Really? I didn't hear about that, but I haven't paid attention to Epic. That'd be a good question for Wendell. Thank you. I hear him. Let's see. If you need help with anything, let me know. Sure, nerdy girl. I'll hit you up later. Josh Wolbell, much better than the stock one. Robot in 75. Hi. JK Ruff. I got a 480 rad, 3700 1080, and GPU is 27 on idle, 4550 on idle. Yeah, I would probably. Yeah, I've noticed these CPUs run really hot. So even a 3700X, they just. A lot of it comes from the voltage that they use. So you can literally. One kind of tip you can do is just lower the voltage. You don't necessarily need the voltage that they set there. So you can just lower it, and that should help with your temps. What no love for Ryan or Krista? Not sure what that means. Hi Ryan, hi Krista. I have a browser extension that defaults me to the highest resolution. If I miss somebody, it's hard to keep up, man. They just keep coming and try to pick as many as I can. Yes. What is the RAM speed right now? Eddie Bossa Nova here. Don't know what that means. Which one is better pound for pound? Technician hacker, Wendell or Joe? I think it'd be a good fight. Let's see, Gigabyte X50 Aorus Extreme here. It's a nice board. Idle's around 20 years, but folding, don't see. Years ago, I got quite a few demo boards from Gigabyte, but they were from Fry's. Yeah, I think that's kind of normal with Fry's, though. I heard that that's kind of a Fry's thing. I wouldn't necessarily blame that on Gigabyte. I heard there was like some stuff going down with Fry's where basically people would return them, or say bend pins and stuff, or kill it, and they would resell it. So, I don't know. I've seen a lot of them do that. Oh, the other two on level 1 decks. Now I get it. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know. That's up to level 1. To Wendell. Yeah, I didn't know what you guys were talking about. I thought we were kind of done talking about Wendell. But anyways, yeah. Oh my gosh, everybody's just gonna bomb me now. Whoops. So anyway, so I'm gonna go more back into this stuff. So yeah, so if you notice on some of the screenshots here, my max temps were like ridiculous. 90 degrees, like for a 480 rad, this is way too high. I was not happy. So you'll see right here, I'm running about 42.25, and look at this. It's running 102, 103, 104, 102 degrees. So this is not good. This is the shit that if you're getting this hot, there's a problem. Now, if you do custom water cooling, there could be something in your loop, and one of the things that's shitty about it is that you gotta take it all apart and basically go through it. So this was driving me nuts. To be honest, this is kind of what I've been doing for the past week, but also kind of slacking off too. But I was literally driving me nuts because I changed around the configurations and I was still getting this same issue. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I kept on going through and I changed a bunch of stuff. So what I ended up doing, like I was saying before, on Twitter, I took apart this block. And when I took it apart, there was hair. And it was gross. It sucked. But that was part of the issue. What I found out, it was still not the last part. Basically, I had to increase the flow because this 480 is just a monster. Plus, I have a lot of tubing, so I think these pumps are made to handle like 10 feet of tubing, but you got a lot of water going through here, and you got to going all different around the place. So I don't know. Ever since I did the second tube, I might actually throw a third one in just for kicks to see if it gets better flow, because I was so impressed by having the second pump that it made such a big difference. I'll have to find one on here. You'll see, like, I'm still getting 102 right here. It's just so hot. Where I think we hit 104.5 on that one. Juster! Since most of the cold plates are shaped for the curvature of Intel heat spare, does that affect temps when using the universal water blocks, and why AMD runs hot? Well, this is not a universal block. This is actually an AMD block. I am not really... I don't know. The whole curvature thing I think is kind of bullshit. I'm not really a fan of that. That's why I usually lap the CPUs. This is the EK block, the RGB one. I remember one of my first videos is basically doing the EK blocks. That's the specific block. Here's the CPU one, or the Intel one, right? So basically, same block. Now this block came out before the 3950X, so I don't really blame that it's an issue with EK. It's just, no one knew that they were going to come out with a 16 core in a year, so I can't be hating on it. Says Rad is turning into a grill. But yeah, so damn, that's hot for a 480 Rad. Yeah, isn't it crazy? So this was like pissing me off big time. So I kept on going through and going through. So I spent a couple like nights last week going through this. Yeah, that's so, well, I guess there's a lot more I have to say about that. So the first thing I wanted to do was, like, on these pumps, they basically, underneath, they have a controller. So these ones aren't like using the normal like 4-pin that you put on and you can do a variable. This basically just has where you stick a screwdriver and you change the pump how fast you want. I had some issues with that one where I had to take it apart. So I went through, make sure it was all cleaned. I wanted to make sure it was good. And then underneath I put it on the max. And even then, it still wasn't pushing what I really wanted to. I mean, it was okay. You got to figure I'm pushing an overclocked 3950X. The block is probably oversaturated by itself, but overall, by switching, or because these are, I think, D5 pumps are similar to D5 pumps, so it's just the amount of tubing and hose and water that I'm using that it's really good to have the second. Plus, you never know, if you have a pump fail, you have a backup pump that's still running, so it could save you in the long run. Well, I'm all about that redundancy and stuff like that. I've been doing IT for 20 years, so. Oh, hey Slacker, good to see you live again. Hope you are fine. Thanks, Arnar. Yeah, we're doing good. I'm actually doing a lot better since we're doing these streams. So if you guys, I was been thrown around that during the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, I think I want to stream, and then the rest we'll do maybe 1 or 2 videos in the meantime on the off days. So I think that's kind of the strategy. So this week is to basically test that out and see how good it is. So let's see. What are we going on here? Perhaps, no, the first pump wasn't broken. Triple Lillian Lee pumps here, baby. Nice. No, really, I feel like if I put another pump on here, that this would be even better. So I think I'm going to end up doing that maybe after the stream. What are your water temps? That's actually a good question. I don't have a meter, but I do have... Ooh, I'll be back. Oh, I don't know where I put it. Let's see. Oh, this is gonna piss me off too. So basically, what I have is a heat camera that goes on the iPhone, where you can basically just go and you can actually show and take pictures of the heat. But all I do know is that back when I was having this issue is that you can actually feel. So if you feel the reservoir and it's getting hot, you know you have an issue, right? So let's see. Have you ever lapped the pump side of the CPU block to get better performance? Lap the pump side of the CPU. It depends on the block, right? Yeah, I haven't done anything with these blocks. A lot of times I just use liquid nitrogen stuff. So my motto is to have a pump for each rad in the system. Yeah, like, to be honest, I would say always do 2 pumps. And depending on it, say if you had two 480s, I would probably go with 3 pumps. It just makes so much of a difference. Like, especially if you have your orientation of your rads all different ways, really having that boost of pump, it's good. I wonder if he went to the bathroom or find a part. No, I was trying to find it. I don't know where it is. It's basically this little module piece. I better not have lost it because I lost one before and it pissed me off for 200 bucks. Actually, it's like a FLIR. The problem that I found with the FLIR is that they don't like to go to negative temperatures. And if you want to go negative temperatures, like, I mean, that's the key, right? So what I found is there's another version that uses on the iPhone that actually works better than a FLIR. It's pretty crazy. FLIR like works better with the higher temperatures, but the colder temperatures, for some reason, it doesn't do it. Yeah, I'll have to find it. I don't know where it is right now. I don't want to be... It's going to take me a while. I got too much shit. UHD King. Make it like the Roboclocker, right? Yeah, it's more fun to pour. I like pouring liquid nitrogen. It's more fun to me. But anyway, so as I was going through this whole pain in the ass, I ripped apart the pumps. I went through the rads. Like, I was going nuts. I'm like, there's no way that this processor runs this hot. I know the black is kind of shitty, but it can't be possibly shitty where it's like just as bad as this, you know? But yeah. 2 followed pumps or in the middle of the loop. So this one I just did in series. What I would have liked to do, I'm trying to keep down the hose. But I would really like one on one side and one on the other. So like, say pump, rad, something like that. But it really depends on what you have to do. Like, you never know. Like, you can't say like every case is the same. You know, I know we'll probably end up getting the VIII 90. I think or VIII 91 that I've decided for the Xeon build. We'll probably do similar dual 480s in it. But I'm definitely going to use dual pumps now, just from seeing with this. There's just no way. Well, actually, probably I'll do triple. I'm definitely going to test. I'll probably do it tonight, where I'll throw another pump in. I actually have 2 more pumps that I can use. But yeah, I mean, really, flow is dramatically important. Because you'll see just from these screenshots how bad it was. Like, this one is 4150, and I'm almost at 100C. This one, that one, what was weird, sometimes it would be good and sometimes it wasn't. And what I found out is if you didn't have enough flow, what you'll find out is basically if you don't have enough flow, you'll have a lot more air pockets trapped inside the, basically inside the rad or maybe in your lines. What I found is that if you have a better pump system, basically you'll be able to flush out the air much easier. Because a lot of times when you have these air pockets build up, what it does is it causes an issue and basically just the water heats up and it doesn't flow through. And the whole point is to get the heat away. So you want the heat to soak into the water, but you want to transfer the water away. I don't build for stock, I build for OC. Right? Who wants stock? That just reminded me of a good sticker and t-shirt, by the way. I have to write that down. But anyway, you'll see in right here, this one, it was a nice one. This is where it was really good, 75. See? I want to say that these were after I updated it. Let's see. So we're almost at like 10K. Yeah, this is by the time. Look at this now. So me, I'm at almost 4.3. And look at the temperatures. 54C with a max of only 77. So now that I added the extra pump, this was before I added this rad. Basically, it was so much better. Right now, I feel like this 480 is really not doing much because we don't have enough flow. So I really think we should do some tests right now, so that way when I test them, because we're gonna do another stream tomorrow. So during that stream tomorrow, maybe we'll do. I'll put it in the pump. I'll maybe pre-test it, and then we'll go over and kind of compare it to how we did right now, because it really does make a huge difference. What does it say? Ask Jay for his 2 cents on pump situation. Yeah, not just alcohol consumption. Just be careful doing that. Drinking, you can get it a little dangerous. With comparison graphs, that would be cool. Good YouTube video that I haven't seen done by Steve J. Yeah, actually, that is a really good video now that I think about it. I'll have to change it, maybe going from a stream into a video. Prominic, night slackers, I gotta go, and it's 11 p.m. Zorius time. Later slacker. All right, so let's go. So we're still slacking. We don't have 200 likes yet. Come on, guys. Like and subscribe. Make sure you guys like, because remember that the algorithm. It's all about the algorithm. But yeah, so if you look here, so now we're doing like 78 degrees. Here, let's just do this. Let's do some actual runs, because it's not fun to actually see them not run, right? By the way, FX30. Yes, we know the 8350 at 4.9 is real shit. It's not like... It used to be funny back in the day when AMD guys would say that, but what are you gonna do? I have a tower by Case Labs with a pedestal and weighs 200 pounds. Can you imagine clearing the bubbles, baby? Yeah, we want to make sure, if you're having that much problems going through, you might want to update your pumps, bro. Because it made a huge difference. Like, you can tell, just I refilled this and added it several times just to see how much, and to get all the air out, it literally took me like 2 minutes compared to like 20 minutes with the old setup. So, but anyways, night broski, have fun. What do you think about pump speeds? Tend to my pumps at 100% and only change the fan speeds depending on heat. I think there's probably a point where you add too much flow, and it kind of, I don't know. I would probably just run them at 100%. For daily, it's a little bit different. You could necessarily just ramp them up. I would probably go off of the header. Since these pumps are basically just handled on themselves, I just probably put them all the way up, or maybe like halfway. Actually, you could probably lower them, because if you're gonna have 3 pumps, I don't think you need to run them all full, but it depends. I would actually take your setup, make sure it's accessible where you can change the speed, and test it out for yourself, because you never know. There's so many variables about how you're running the lines, how you have the orientation of the actual rads themselves. But I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. Which for you would be tough. Well, that's the point, man. I'm going crazy just by myself. So it's great to have you slackers here. But anyway, let's do some bass and see the temps and stuff. So we got here, we're running about between anywhere from 37 to 40. Right now, I think we're at 1.25 volts. Yeah, 1.25. You see that we're on the level 2, so with a little droop, it goes from 1.25 to 1.244. I disagree on the pump thing. I think it's your Asus port. I don't even know what that means, but how old are you? I'm old enough to have an awesome beard. I'm still an AMD Rippy. I guess I'm blessed to have a pump that clears 4 bubbles in a day of running. Yeah, I still got a bunch of bubbles in here, but to be honest, it was really bad. Like some big bubbles. You'll see them like in the lines and stuff. It's kind of a pain in the ass. I'm from Germany. At me, it's 1 a.m. Yeah, it's only 7:15 here. If you guys ever want to know what time that I usually do the streams, like tomorrow, we're gonna try a little bit earlier. I want to do on the 3 o'clock. The problem is I wanted to hook up this rad before, and it kind of screwed up my whole schedule for the day. So, but yeah, so we're gonna try to do like 3 p.m. EST, New York City time. So basically New York City time. What's up, Peter Jordan? But yeah, let's do an R20 while I'm talking, because I tend to talk forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So let's get a couple runs in. Let's see, my big head's probably in the way. Beards for the win! Probably time to go Ryzen, Joshua. God, what's with this trash water cooling? You need alpha coal instead. David! If my buddy would send me some, I'd be happy to use it, slacker. Slacker. So what temps are we at? So we're about in low 80s. Not too shabby. Here, let's see. YouTube has to make it a way to upload screenshots to chat. Actually, that would be kind of cool, right? Says, I don't think I've ever tried voltage under 1.4. I might have to give it a try. You should. It's like a pro tip. You drop it down, and you'd be surprised how much your whole cooling system will be so much better. I haven't found one that I didn't find that didn't work, you know? It basically was cool. Alpha Cool is the way. I love those guys over there. I can't hate on them. They're pretty cool. When this fire's kept over, I will send you the goodies. You better, slacker. You're welcome. I want to know who this Snowy is. This is the best thing right now. Oh, all right. So we got, this is just 4 gig, right? So we want to push it a little bit. We'll go right to 4.1. Now, remember I've said that this is a retail chip. I basically don't have a bin chip. A lot of the ones that you see that have records and stuff, I bought this fully retail so that way I can show you exactly how it does. And that's basically playing luck with the silicon lottery gods. And let's just say they were not good to me. So far, I've only been able to push maybe like, I don't know, 4.3-ish. And that's pretty much about it. That's R20 and R15 stable. We're not saying like Prime 95 stable or anything like that. I find this stream very relaxing. Well, thanks, broski. To be honest, I feel better with you guys are here. So we're going to have to do this a lot more often, especially since this whole thing's going on. I've been going crazy with it. But I can't do it unless my likes go up. 182 is not going to work. We need to get it over 200. Come on, slackers. Same brother, good vibe and all. And we got some good music too, huh? Alright. I can maybe watch 30 seconds of YouTube video. At 4.7. That's pretty funny. Did a 420 280 EK rads in the fractal design R6. Well, my fans are stopped most of the time. The 1300 RPM on OC 3950. 3950X is a very cool CPU. Yeah, very cool CPU if you have a good cooling. Otherwise, you don't want to be running this thing on air. So the whole point of this whole stream is to basically talk about water cooling for the 3950X. If you're going to buy a 3950X, do not use air cooling. There's just no point why you're going to spend that much money on a CPU and use this. This one is this is technically off of a 3900X, but it's my point, is that you should invest in some nice water cooling and take care of that beautiful CPU and overclock the shit out of it and have fun. That's the point. All right. Where'd I miss? Nothing I'd rather be doing right now. Thank you, Jose. I totally agree with that. Let's see. Use the program work tool and you can OC individual CCX. Well, you can also do it in the BIOS too, which I kind of wanted to go, but it's a great distraction from the mad world we live in. Isn't that the truth? So one of my issues, basically 4.3 seems to be my limit on this one, and that seems to be an average. So if you're getting over 4.3, I don't know, you might have hit the silicon lottery. You suck too, just saying. Oh, but yes. Make sure you hit 200 already. Come on, slackers. Jeez. And if you guys want to support the channel, go to beardedhardware.com. We're going to have stickers up there very shortly. Right now, the sweatshirt, there's no picture of them. They are badass. If you've seen some of my other streams, they're in there. But you can get the sweatshirts now. I'll keep the same price. And then we got t-shirts. And they're all made by me. If you want them autographed, just let me know in the note or just message me after, and I'll hook you up. All right. What else we got here? I got an overclockable motherboard. As I am on a crap budget, I had an A320, but now an X470. X470 is not actually that bad. I know the CROSSHAIR X470 is a pretty badass board. I have one of those. To be honest, I'm kind of pissed off. I wanted to take... So I want to lap this chip. I have a feeling that the 3950X, just the top of them, is a little bit warped. Most of the soldered chips, when they start soldering them to the CPU, basically the IHS just goes like this. It kind of starts warping. So I usually want to get consistency, so we're going to do a lab job on this eventually. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to take a board, remove the socket, and then basically put the CPU in the socket and then sand it. Or I'll make my buddy Overclockers and modding, make him do it. What are you doing? I almost guarantee your CCD can go over 4.3 at the same voltage, hence why, yep. That's true. Any type of, hey, I can't go around my own motto where every little performance you can get is a good one. I almost guarantee, okay, I read that. You're a give option to buy without the cooler to save you money. Yes, they should give you the option. I have a t-shirt, I can confirm they're awesome. I need to get you another. Oh, no, Dave, you can't have anything. I almost guarantee your CCD can go over 4.3. Yeah, of course. If it's doing 4.3, then I guarantee you the better die is gonna work. Is my English okay? Because I'm 13 years old. English seems fine. But my MEM controller is lagging at 1.28. Yes! We hit 200 prayers to TechOdin. Thanks, Jester, for that $5. 1 like equals 1 prayer to the tech god. Alright, CS6 does work, but it's not worth when you take use of all cores. Yeah, it really depends on... I would say that if you're going to overclock one of them, you might as well do it because not everything is going to use all cores. Now, if you want to do something like Cinebench, I don't know. It still probably will improve a little bit, but I don't know. Let's see. Hello, Bearded Slacker. Dave, where you been, Slacker? And we're on 202 likes. I love it. Just shared the stream on the Facebook group. Awesome. Gotta love the Facebook groups. But anyway, so we're benching a little bit here. I just sent you a pic of how bad the 3950X is. Oh, I don't even know where I put my phone, so... Oh, yeah. Well, that's a Ryzen chip. Hold on 1 second. It's interesting how, like, airlines right now are, like, sending messages and stuff. It's pretty crazy. Damn doing hi! Good day, teacher! What's up, Slacker? Have you a chance heard anything new from Ice Giant? Actually, I have not. I wanted to... That Ice Giant would seem pretty damn cool. Overclocking and modding. The center is way too high on them. Of course, but that was a Threadripper chip. That wasn't 3950X, though. That was a 3970X. And they're really bad. The 3970X, the lab job made a huge difference on them. So we need to do that also. XS Bugger, what's up, Charles? Anything new from Ice Giant? Yeah, was it James Pryor? I know he was working on it. We were going to try to get one of them Ice Giants, so I should be getting one soon. But I need to talk to him again. I think he was mad at me because I know he was on the design team for these. But I don't think this was going to be his design, so I can't hate on him for that. Speaking of water cooling, which D5 pump would you recommend or say is better than others? I'm not sure, man. I don't know if I can really answer that because I haven't really found one that is better. And I don't know if I've had enough to really say. So, I don't know. I feel like my nose is running. Ugh. I don't know about you, but this whole thing, this human malware, had to happen when the worst allergy season. Bugger, working making masks, 3D printing. Awesome, broski. You making sure you're helping out people. I wish I could. I need to still get a 3D printer. But obviously I don't have a badass 3D printer like Charles does. He's got a badass 3D printer. You can pretty much make like a life-size person, I think. 3D printing. Pretty insane. Alright, so let's get into overclocking a little bit more. So you see my settings here are 1.25. Right now we're at 4.1. Let's go right up to 4.2. Now I want to keep a look at the temps here. You'll see that we have 40, 39, 39, 38. Now I really, dude, maybe we'll have to basically do a lap job sometime tomorrow. That way I'll do the lap job. The problem is I don't want to bend any pins, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to get around that. So maybe we'll save that for a couple days, but. Says Ruben Zambola, are you still here? By the way, no hard mods or BIOS mod on the 980 Ti. Looking for a good BIOS for it. On the 980 Ti, you should try to see if you can get the Kingpin card. I know one of my buddies on Patreon. So if you want to get a hold of me, you want to BS with a bunch of guys that are all into the same one, go to the Patreon. We have monthly giveaways. You want to be able to talk to me, hang out. We do a bunch of stuff on water cooling. It's like the Insider. It's kind of like how Gamers Nexus does it, but it gives you access to Discord. So you can do like $2 a month. You can do 20 bucks a month, 10 bucks a month, I think. And I think that's it. Printed 14,000 masks since last Monday. That's impressive, dude. We need some bearded hardware ones, right? Pine and grass pollen got everyone. I know, it's so weird. So I was out the other day and I sneezed. And I'm like, sometimes I'll like, I don't know. In the morning I wake up, I always got crap in my eyes and stuff like that. It's just, the pollen, down here in Florida, it's like really bad. Oh, but it's funny when you like sneeze if you're near a store, people just freak out. It's kind of funny in a way. Maybe I should take some video. So if you guys want to know what the room temp, so it's hot in here. It's like 79 degrees. What can I say? I have that effect, huh? I am in Florida. Can you guys even see that? I don't think so. Good old Florida. So not bad, 98.62. What we're gonna do is we'll go up 42.25. This is where it starts getting a little So our max temps now are only 83 degrees, which is really good. Before I was hitting like 105, no problem. So what we want to do is we're gonna run I was hitting a 105 on 4 gig. So Florida doesn't suck. Nerdy Girl, Florida. Donnie Kubitz, howdy, sir. Thanks for being here for us and teaching us the nose. What's up, Donnie? He's always first. In New York, you make any noise at all, you get shunned by everyone. Like I was clearing my throat. Damn. Ooh, smoking good. That's a little ridiculous. And actually, the AC is on here. Overclocking, Monty. Man, you need to shorten that damn name. Let's see, so 42.25, looks like it runs pretty easily. 98.95, pretty decent score. If you guys want to know a little bit, kind of like what clocks I'm using, stuff like that. Let's see, so here we got memory. So obviously, we're at 42.25. 100 base clock, 42.25 multiplier. I kind of like this multiplier with AMD. It's kind of cool how they do that. Instead of using B clock where you can do, it's like almost like an ultimate multiplier. I like it. You know how it is, live in the coastal NC. It sounds like a nice area. Just a white case with gray interior. You'll have to let us know how to lap CPU without bending pins. I'd definitely be trained. Yeah, so there's a way I want to do it, but I gotta find a broken AMD board. And I don't want to kill one of my boards to do it, but I might just end up doing it because I want to do it right now. Says, you'll have to let us know you lapped the CPU. Yeah, we did that. I don't know how you deal with 79 inside. So, the reason why it's so hot in here is because I have lights all around. I have computers running, and like, this doesn't help because all that heat is just coming in the room. So... yeah, I'm used to 79. I like it hot, though. That's just how I am. Well, that's the funniest part. When a Viking sneezes, it draws attention. It doesn't matter where I go. I always draw attention, if you know what I'm saying. That's pretty funny, Maurice. All right, bearded hardware. 2 options. Option 1, get a board that you want to sacrifice so you can make the mount for the AMD CPU to lap the IHS on. Option 2, case to solder the IHS, sand it, resolder it back. Yeah, I think I would do number 1. No way, laugh out loud. Yes, change the name. Says stick it on the foam that comes in the packaging, then lap it. Ooh, that's a good idea, Josh. I kind of like that. I don't know, I might end up using that. I have some foam that... The only problem is like, you gotta be kind of... I think that might work. I don't know. 0Z Core! 00 Core. What's up, slacker? Stick the pins in it and go to town. Stick a pin in it. It's 75 in California right now. Slight breeze with window open. I wish I could open up the window. Oh, you're hot, Joe. Just saying. You're welcome. Plus he keeps talking and all the hot air keeps rolling out. I don't know what you're talking about, slacker. Says you could use an A320, but it would cost me more to send that than it would for you to buy it. Yeah, it's true. I was thinking about a cheap board if it works for you and killing it. I don't know, I have to think about it. I don't know, you can always follow me on Twitter and harass me there, or you can join Patreon. That's the easiest way to talk to me is Patreon. You think like someone that knows what he's doing. Do you recommend the Omen HP Obliques? I don't even know. That sounds familiar. Is that basically like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what the hell it is. It sounds familiar and I can't think of it, but. Adam Khan, gotta love how this stream shows up almost 2 hours after he goes live. Adam. Oh, you're saying notifications. So, we were talking about notifications. If you've subscribed to me, if you go on to subscribe, make sure you get all notifications. From what I found is that if you only have personalized, you won't get every time I stream. So you gotta make sure you update that. Let's see, it worked for me. Ah, you did it, Joshua. That's pretty dope. Says you could always order an AM4 bare bracket off of eBay. I think I have one somewhere. I just gotta go play around. At least you don't have to listen to you saying, Jay, you're not doing it right. Jay, you're not doing it right. Oh my god, this is so funny, because it's so true. If you guys don't know, Overclocking Money is a buddy of mine. So I have him, I taught him how to lap chips. I always have him lap chips, and I'll just mess with him, and I'll tell him he's doing it wrong. It's kind of fun. I enjoy it a lot. So anyway, we were doing 4225. If you ever want to see like the frequency, I noticed, if you guys noticed my 18-core stream, we were going through, and if you wanted to see what each core is clocked at, you can do it this way, or you can go in hardware info. Memory right now is at 4600, 1413, 1330, 51, 1T. We're doing 1200 on F clock. We're gonna try to push up the F clock a little bit, see what's going on. What up, broski? What's that, Augmency? I don't even know how to say that. Little fuckers. I actually got notifications a lot earlier this time. Nice. All right, so yes, we're pretty much, let's run it again. Also note that YouTube starts your stream in lowest res. Check your settings, peeps, for 1080p. Yeah, it's a little weird. YouTube tends to, I think that YouTube is doing that right now because of how saturated YouTube is. So I don't think there's anything that you can really do. But hey, Overclocking, if y'all seen the first live streams, that was me. Yeah, that was a long time ago there, Jay. I don't think we have those up anymore. We had to keep it PG-13. And Jay never loves to do that. We'll have to get another stream with you back, Jay. Do another one. Alright, so 4225 came up. Let's do 4250. Now, this is where I pretty much ended up getting into trouble here. Now, we're only at 83 max, which is awesome. That's way better. It's 20 degrees different. Let's see. Before this wasn't running, so let's see if it runs now. Update me on what temps are like. Man, the 3600 doesn't run as hot as this. How is your 3600 hot at 1.075, dude? You might want to check your paste or something, because that doesn't... What is your hot temps? Because that should not be that high. Says, yeah, my SP is really slacking. My internet's been horrible. Oh, it failed. I hate when that happens. Let's go up to about 1275. We'll do another quick run on it again. Says, fun to catch you live, Elias. What's up, Slacker? Enhanced YouTube extension for Chromium lets you force YouTube to run high def anytime it's available. Even with the new stuff, because I thought it was just something that you couldn't do that anymore. I think Roman was talking about it, that if you're having issues with it, that it's really not an issue, not to worry about it, stuff like that. So, I don't know. It's interesting to see. Because I have a feeling that most people are having different issues depending on location. So, I need more slots or vlots. For a second, I thought it was slot. All right, so 9962, 87. All right, so 42. Let's go 4275. Now, the only thing that we changed different than what I was running before was that I was not running this high of LLC. So we might want to actually try, instead of using level 4, because level 5 is the most. It's basically, when you set 1.25, you get 1.25, right? Usually, I was setting level 2, thinking that it would be level 2, which I was wrong. So I was setting too much VDROOP. But I want to try maybe level 3. It's in between. Sometimes on these chips that are more higher horsepower, sometimes they can benefit from messing around with LLC just because someone tells you that to use a certain level. Don't always use the level. It's always good to try and basically see what your chip likes, because there's not just one setting for all chips that works. You need to figure out what's good and for yours. So, just a pro tip. So let's try 4275. This, I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we will see. Remember, we did up the volts from 1.25 to 1.275. What's nice in here is that you can see that the VDROOP from 125, or actually no, the actual is 1.25 now. The minimum before was 1.225, and then the maximum is 1.275. So it's a little bit of droop, not much. Usually a little bit of droop is pretty good. Oh, nope, it failed. So let's try maybe jump up to 1.3. Open it up again. Now the other thing I'm going to try is, so we're doing this now. I think what we're going to do is maybe do liquid metal tomorrow on this before I start lapping it, because I have a feeling that when I lap it, it's going to make a big difference. What do you say, Volts? Yep, I'm still running, still forcing you. Slacker question, does lapping while leveling it out, does it also create uneven metal thickness? Hope that makes sense. I'm not sure I would say uneven metal thickness. Really, it should, you're making it flat. So you're making the two, you want to do it on the cooler too, right? So you're basically making the two blocks flat as possible, so that way they match up properly. It's not just how saturated, how everyone is on the internet. Yeah, we already know. It's what's best for your cooling. If I can make a suggestion, stick with 1 CPU megahertz and play with timing to see effect on score. Yeah, we'll go over that in a second. Why the benefit of using LLC? I've always used level fly or basically none. You'd be surprised. Sometimes it reduces heat on water. It really depends on the chip. I've seen some chips that like it and some chips that don't like it. So it's really a matter of testing. You never know. It might be able to gain you a little bit of more horsepower. So, yeah, CPU with more horsepower. Yeah, I want to try. So now that we're getting all these temps, so we have it all knocked down, what we can do is we can switch out the pace. So right now I'm using Thermal Grizzly. I have a little bit of KP. I'm waiting for a shipment in. That's one of the reasons why I've been trying to put off stuff a little bit, so that way I can get stuff in, so that way I can do. But hold up, is it a good thing I made another check? BIOS is bugged again. Reporting 1.075, but it's clear running higher again. I don't know, man. Seems like you have some temperature issues or something. Because 3600, a 3900 is a lot beefier than a 3600. So I wouldn't expect the 39 or that one to be running that hot. So it looks like 1.3. We got a nice even 10K. Now, what I was testing with yesterday. So again, like I talk about my Patreon. If you subscribe to my Patreon, you get access to a Discord, right? And that's using your Patreon account. So you got to make sure you sign up for a Patreon account. In there's a bunch of guys that have been. We were doing testing last night on the 3950X, and I was comparing scores to mine. So the scores on this seem to be very shit, and I think it has to do with the operating system itself. I want to say, let's see, what is this one? I don't remember which one this is, and now I forget how you did. Shit. Now I forget. This is what happens. I get so used to Windows Server 2016 that when I come to Windows 10, sometimes I just go blank. This is Pro N version. Do you guys remember where you can see which version it is? Because I can't remember offhand. I want to say it's somewhere in there, but I can't remember. I want to say this is like an older version, like 1803, which is probably better if you go in there. 1015 puts you in 20th place on the back. That's pretty sad, dude. It's 20th place, and I'm only on water. I gotta go get some stuff done around the house. Been slacking off once I've been working from home. Smoking good. Get your shit going, bro. I like the Achu NH5 a lot, but I want to try KP Thermal Paste. I'm hoping it's really good. Well, it really depends. I mean, on a air cooler, you're kind of limited. I'm not gonna lie. Your thoughts? Who is the worst on level IHS? Intel or AMD? They're just as bad. I mean, it's kind of a variable that you really... I wouldn't say one is worse. I know that... I think the worst that I've ever seen was on an 18 core. Or a 16 core. So, I mean, but the thing is on the AMD, I haven't done enough AMD Threadripper chips to really make a decision. Because I know my Threadripper chip was real shit. So, yeah, and Steve wouldn't let me do the 64 core. I was sad. Let's see. What are you saying there, Winver? Yeah, but I don't know if, does Winver keep it in there? Oh, shit. Hit the wrong button. Let's see. Winver. Yeah, 1809. Thanks, Brusky. I appreciate it. Sometimes I forget. Yeah, so we're on 1809. I think 19, it just scores so much better. So I think what I'm going to have to do for tomorrow is basically switch it over to the operating system. So that way we have multiple operating systems. A lot of the times when we go and we basically are doing stuff like this, we have to test each operating system because you never know. Like, I might be able to run on, say, Windows Vista and get a higher score than what I'm getting now. So we need to start testing a little bit of more operating systems to see what's going on. But I appreciate it. To the question, who has worse IHS? They're both equally as bad. Exactly. A couple more LN2 ventures have since passed me. BIOS version. This is 0050. Dude, I have a Phenom core, all core. Would you consider that a high voltage? So back on the old Phenoms, I think 1.55 is probably definitely too high. Even 1.5 seems, but it also depends on your cooler and temps that you're getting. So I don't want to say too much, you know? Oh, smoking good. Later, broski. I think I probably missed him, but hey. How much life do you think I have left in a 3-year-old AIO? You'd be surprised. Some AIOs, I've either heard they are good or they get really bad. Yeah, they are. Intel are horrible. I'm an old IT fart. Don't feel bad. It's okay, Chuck. I'm an old IT fart too. I've been doing it for 20 years, man. You know what it is I'm so used to different operating. I work with Servers 2016 a lot lately. So I'm so used to that I'm like, when I go on Windows 10 anymore, it's like it's kind of crazy. But yeah, so we're at 10,015, and I think this would be higher on the newer version. We're gonna try and see. So what I'll do is I'll probably do an install so that way we don't waste your time here. But let's jump up to 4.3 and see what it does, right? The music got a little bit. So what's up, slackers? If you're new here, oh no, we definitely failed. That's not that bad. 00 core. Min temp is 34 and load is 68. That's pretty good. Yeah, you see how it comes up here? It says CPU over temperature error. It's kind of weird. That's why I was doing monitor before, because it shows 56, and it must be some weird bug that Asus has. I've had a couple people ask me about it, and I'm just setting it to ignore, because it shouldn't be that bad on here. It's already down to 39 if you look over to the right. Oh, well, you can't see it because I'm here. So this is what I'm talking about. If you look here, see how it says 38 on the side? Let me move this down here for a bit. Try that. Alright, so what I want to do is I'm going to try... So we basically weren't able to run 4.3 at 1.3. So what I want to do is I'm going to go through and I want to actually test to see if the LLC helps a little bit more. So we're going to change from level 4 to level 3. Because I tried 2 and I tried 4. Now we'll try level 3. We're going to keep the SoC. Let it reboot. Crashzilla! Where are we at here? Yeah, they are Intel horrible. Both are bad. The IHS. Yeah, it really is. No one's worse than the other. They both suck. It's like they're stock coolers. The AMD and the Intel ones suck. They're good for if you just want to run it for a bit, but nothing if you want to do anything good. Says... Salam alaikum. My first PC was a T99 4A. Oh man. Crasilia, nerd, I still have my TI-994. Also have a Timex Sinclair. Wow. Let's see. So I want to see, so we were at 1.3 before. Let's see if it makes a difference now. So we're going to do 1.3. Remember, we have the different LLC now, so it's gonna make a difference. We'll start out at 4.2, and basically what I'll do is I'll run it. All right, let me get to the one area I like to be. Okay, you guys can see. Yeah, you can see that 1.3, and then it says the minimum is 1.24, so the droop is probably going to go down to 1.244, which probably should be pretty good for this. Let's see what... Sometimes when you can do this, you can actually reduce the temperatures that go to the CPU, and you would actually be surprised. I've seen some CPUs like it, and I've seen some CPUs actually hate it, so... let's see. Yeah, me too. I've been in it for 20 years. I spend more time in Azure now than real desktop OSs. I know. I do a lot of Azure stuff myself. I do a lot of directory type things. 20 years. Keep beat you both. 30 years. Man, you old man, you. Won't the 3950X throttle at 90 degrees? Not that I noticed. I don't miss having to solder a jumper onto the motherboard to get the PC to see the RAM. Why not? It's fun to solder stuff. What's fun? What's not fun with soldering stuff? So, like I was saying before, is I was thinking maybe this week or next week. I think I'm going to do a little bit of research. So, the 5700 XT, I did an unboxing and I never really shared anything on it. And I think that was one. So when I was doing a stream with Steve from Gamers Nexus, I went over and basically was playing around with like all the software mods, and to be honest, it was a friggin' nightmare. So what I'm thinking about doing is revisiting and actually doing some hard mods, and let's actually see how we can properly overclock it. I think we could probably overclock it higher than any other 5700 XT out. So would you guys want to stream that? Make sure you guys are cool with it. Let me know, etc. I don't miss, let's see, I should have mentioned the max temp for the Phenom is supposed to be 62 and the max is 68. I don't think that would probably be an issue. What's the earliest Windows OS you can remember? The earliest OS? Technically, the earliest Windows were what? Windows 3? or you had basically NT4 or NT35, or you had OS, was it? Shit, what are the first server operating systems that Microsoft did? Those were pretty badass. I haven't worked with those for a long time, to be honest. I used to do a lot of Exchange work, SQL work, all sorts of stuff. I had the same issues that overtemp on my CROSSHAIR 2. Great tip to disable the temp. Ah, see? 41 years in IT. You're old, Fug. Ah, 4 megs of RAM cost me 500. Yeah, dude, back in the day, like, some people think that PC stuff is expensive now. Man, that shit was expensive, and you used to get, like... I mean, I remember when 512 RAM was like, whoa. Or 256, like... Even like 8 meg or 16 meg. It's so crazy. So with my Asus CROSSHAIR, I am getting much better performance with level 3. Chuck, that's what I was thinking. So you'll see here that we basically did 9828. We have a little bit of a lower temp. Let's see if we can go a little bit higher. Remember, at 4.3 is really where we had issues. So that's 4.2. I always like to take screenshots. I need to give you guys this snapshot app. I gotta do some research though. I'm slacking. I'll take care of that. Try to take care of that for tomorrow though. NT35. Oops, caps lock. What's the earliest Windows I remember? Windows 2000. I liked Windows 2000. Windows XP was the only thing I didn't like about Windows 2000 is the way the drivers work. Windows XP was such a great thing when it came in then. 100 gig SSD cost me 550 USD. Ooh. Yeah, I've always run SSDs for years. Oh, 256K. Well, what, 2 of them? Let's see. So it looks like it ran pretty well. We're scoring pretty decently for 4225. So it looks like level 3 might be a sweet spot. This is the type of stuff that I talk about that you need to look around and try to figure out, because you never know how good your chip might be. And I mean, it is chip dependent. So like mine might like it now, but as soon as you go to yours, it might not be the same. So remember, also I have some beefy ass cooling here too, but it seems like the silicon lottery is not the best. Oh, I hated Windows ME. I remember I had a friend's dad that was, he was an accountant, so he used to work on computers. And he would tell me ME was like the shit. And I was like, dude, ME really sucks. It's like the worst OS ever. I never understood. I was like, Windows 2000 is better than ME. Why are you running ME? ME couldn't even do like proper networking, if you remember back in the day. 9911, so... We're still, attempts are good at 86. 4250 went by. Oh, you guys can barely see that. Let me move this over a little bit. So what we're going to do is we'll go to 4275. Like I said, the max is pretty much around 43. You saw, because basically I ran it with you guys on there, so. I ran 3.1 as a kid in high school. I ran NT4, Windows 2000. I'm actually a MCSE in NT4. It's kind of funny. I'm also a C&E in 5 with running NetWare basically on NT. It was actually better than NT4 with all the domains and stuff. It was so crazy. Windows 95 wasn't that bad. Windows 95 was pretty much a good start. NT was better. You had, Windows for workgroups. Jesus. You're bringing back horror moments there. Vista was not... Dude, Vista basically said, what up, slackers? What's up, Devin? Basically, ME was just awful. 95, not so bad. Now I forget what the hell I was going to say. Got distracted. Alright, so we were able to run 4275 without an issue. We're still only about 87.5 peak. So let's run it again. Now, if you guys are just getting into the stream... We've been overclocking the 3950X. I went over all my cooling issues that I've had over the past week. I've had lots of them. So it's if you're in a guide looking for troubleshooting steps, when you're looking for water cooling, this is definitely a good way to go about. I've had issues where I had it clogged up. loop. I basically had not enough flow. There's all a bunch of stuff that I ran into. As I said, about 2 years ago, I decided to run Vista on my modern PC for shits and giggles, and holy crap, dude, Vista was really not that bad, to be honest. Even, I remember, I think it was in 2014, I broke the 05 FutureMark world record or whatever. And the funniest part about it was that when we posted it everywhere, because it was better, it was the world record, people started complaining, why would you run it on Vista? That Windows 7 was faster. You'd be surprised what OSs are actually faster in certain circumstances. Windows 7 was the best OS they made. Windows 7 was actually very badass. Windows 7, I remember I used to run it on what they have, little netbooks. So I put a little SSD in there. And man, I used to run Windows 7 off that thing. It was the coolest thing. Oh, look at this. So 4275 worked. 99999. 9. So it's like we're Germans now. So let's see. So 4275. So it looks like level 3 is actually working a little bit better than level 4 was. And level 2 is just not that good. So it seems that level 3 looks to be pretty good. Well, I guess we'll see right now when we run 4.3, because 4.3 was, it kind of ran and then it didn't run. I think we upped the voltage for it. Windows for Workgroups was basically 3.11. Yeah, so here's the issue. I think this is where it starts getting a little weird with, like, it needs more voltage. We need more power. We need more voltage. That's funny. Well, Vista Scheduler was craptastic. Well, one of the biggest issues was in Vista that not many people knew is that they changed the way drivers were handled. So, like, a lot of people had issues with AMD cards. I remember back then, I had a 4870 X2 or whatever. I would always get these weird driver issues. And it really turned out to be that it was crappy programming by NVIDIA and AMD. Not necessarily so much Vista. I blame more NVIDIA and AMD because even now their software pretty much sucks. So they're not the best. Because people used to complain, oh, it's Vista, oh, it's Vista. You didn't like the Metro look? I hated Windows 8. Actually, some of those benches still like that stuff now, too. It's kind of crazy. All right, we're going to start over on the music. I think we ran out of music. Yeah, we'll go with this one. Yeah, so it looks like even 4.3 is just a little bit too much. We'll go up to 1.35. But I kind of knew that this is pretty much the stopping point for this one. For some reason, this chip just doesn't like it. And I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe with a lap job, maybe we'll try liquid metal first. I think maybe tomorrow, and I think I have some conductanot, and I think I actually have liquid metal too. I'll have to look around to get ready for tomorrow. Let's see. It looks like 1.35. A little bit running. I don't want to say it's basically gonna get screwed. Vista was pretty good, man. To be honest, even I actually kind of liked Windows 8.1. Windows 8 was just shit. Windows 8.1 was pretty good because then you can get a bunch of the utilities and then add all the stuff back. Actually, with Windows 8, I think was actually really good for Firestrike. I think back in the day, I used to kill it with that. And I think it was a classic OS where you can basically have the seashell down at the bottom. I used to use it all the time and break a bunch of records and stuff. Right, so we're not having much luck here. Temps are getting a little bit hot. So I think what we're going to do for tomorrow, we obviously got a bunch of stuff down. I think what we're going to do is, are you going to lap on stream? Well, I don't know how I'm going to lap it yet. So before we lap it, we're going to save that for, not tomorrow, we're going to save that for another time. I think what we're going to do is we'll basically, we'll do conductanot tomorrow, see if that makes a difference, because we know temps. And what I want to do is I want to add another pump. So I really feel like the third pump would really make a difference. I also think that on the bottom of these pumps, you basically set like how fast you want the pump to run. So I'm gonna actually take this apart and basically make sure it's at the max, and then I'm basically gonna go and put another pump in. So I think we'll do that all tomorrow. I'll have it ready for tomorrow. We'll do some. I'll basically apply and do all that liquid metal stuff. But I'll probably do the pump and stuff beforehand because it's more fun to see me apply liquid metal, stuff like that. What do you mean? Wait, no, classic shell. Yeah, so it looks like 4.3 is gonna fail, and I think we reached the time. So we started at 5:45. We want to do about 2-hour streams, 3-hour streams. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna kill the stream here. That way, give me a bunch of stuff to do, and we're gonna meet up again tomorrow. So tomorrow we're gonna do a little bit earlier. Right now it's 8 p.m. What we're gonna end up doing is try to go for like 3 p.m. That way maybe we can go a little bit longer, so it's not too late. What I'll do is I'll try to eat before and get everything going. So remember, make sure you like and subscribe. You gotta do it. If you want to help support the channel, you can join Patreon. Look for beardedpatreon.com. You'll see it in the description. Make sure you join there. You can get access to Discord. We have monthly giveaways, so check that out. And also, if you want to buy shirts, help support the stream, I do them myself. I don't do them for anybody else. So if you go to beardedhardware.com, we're going to have stickers. I got a couple new shirts that are coming out, so we got to check them out. But yeah, so if you guys want to, I don't know, hang out for a bit, or, I don't know. Oh, I do need a flow meter. I'm waiting for Thermaltake to send me one. So basically, I think I should be getting some flow meters. I mean, flow meter I think everybody should have, because there's nothing easier than a flow meter. Sometimes when you're looking at tubes and stuff, it's just a pain in the ass. It's just how it is. Please come check out DLive TV. We'd love to have you there, man. You will stream here too. Yeah, I'll have to check it out, man. Alright, slackers. I'm glad you guys came here and checked it out. Hopefully, if you had any questions, make sure you leave it in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe. We got a good community here. Make sure you check out Patreon too. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of good guys over there, and we do a lot more in-depth stuff. You could have seen most of this stuff going already. So, but yeah. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Check out. Make sure you come for the stream tomorrow. We're gonna do it again tomorrow. So, all right, slackers. Slacker out.